Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Know Your Worth. The young lady you see on here, you've seen many times on my channel, but as you see, she is transitioning from global placement services to Sudden Elevation and Consulting, soon to be Sudden Law Group, because she is in law school. So our partnership is going to stay, it's going to change slightly. She's going to do a lot more training, and she's going to be on the law side, and I'm still going to be on the recruiting and HR side. Although we will be sharing the HR duties. Um, LaToya, introduce yourself a little bit, or reintroduce yourself, and let everybody know what's going on.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is LaToya Sutton, known as the founder of Global Placement Services. We are going through a rebranding. We just came up with a new name, which will be Sudden Elevation and Consulting. Just like Wilford mentioned, we will be helping out with HR trainings and consulting, but our focus will be on the side of the legal aspect of things. So that's what we'll be doing.
Okay. So today we're talking about effective resume writing to get to the next step in your career.
hmm
Okay, so this is a lot. I'm going to be completely honest. I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it from the candidate's perspective and
Okay.
actually kind of what we're looking for.
Okay.
Because you've been recruiting for how long again?
I'm not going to age myself, but over 10 years.
Okay, so over 10 years you've been recruiting.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So, in your estimation, and I'll give mine first,
Okay.
what is the most important thing about looking at a resume? Like, before you write a resume and send it off, what would you think is the most important? I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to go with formatting, formatting, formatting. I'm telling you, what I'm going to say might not make a lot of sense, but I can look at a resume because I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing it since 2008. I can see if something's off and it's going to bother me and it's going to make me pass up on your resume. I'm going to be completely honest. Even if it's just one of the lines is not the same, if the indent is not the same on everything, it has to be, um, everything just has to match up. So we've said this on many times before. Please have a professional resume, even if you have an excellent resume. Have
hmm
a resume writer look at it or send it to a resume writer. It's not as expensive as you would think. What would be yours?
I was going to say the exact same thing. It's the presentation of your resume because it's marketing material to represent who you are as a person. So, as you mentioned, like formatting, you want to make sure that you have a very nice and concise and detailed resume that you're going to present to an employer because you got to remember that you are in competition with other candidates who may have a very well presentation put together, which is their resume that share who they are. So, like you mentioned, I might have a resume that have bullet points on the left side, on the right side. It's just not flowing where I can't keep up to know who you are compared to a resume that's presented before me that has their bullet points all in one area, education history, work history, a little summary of who you are and what you're looking for, a little bit about your experience, your skills. So formatting, presentation is the number one thing. Um, that's important.
Yes.
Looking for your next career.
Um, and it has to be consistent throughout the whole resume. You
hmm
can't have, I've seen resumes where it's one resume on page one and it looks completely different on page two.
hmm
And see, the thing is, as a recruiter, which you can attest to, as soon as we send that to the hiring manager, again, it could be 1 to 200 people applied. We get it down to 5 to 10. We send that hiring manager a resume. They're going to be like, no. And why did you send this to me? And start, depending on how close your relationship is, now they don't trust you as much. And that's
Yeah.
what we're doing. Go ahead.
Yep. And I was going to share a story, and you just touched on it. It depends on the relationship that the recruiter has with the hiring manager or what the hiring manager is looking for. So, for example, early on when I used to hire for a hospital, a CEO of a well known hospital in the state of Virginia was looking to hire a patient experience leader. And this person had amazing experience. I sent detailed notes and was excited for the candidate. The CEO that was going to make the decision on who they were going to interview wanted to bypass on her. And you want to know why? is because of the
Wow.
format. Her bullet points were not together, and the type of bullet points that she used, I think they were like skulls or something. So there wasn't like arrows or the little circles or the squares, and she felt that that was unprofessional to be applying for that level of position. Well, coming to find out, when she formatted her resume and sent it through our ATS system, it kind of made some changes there. So I had to actually sit down and talk with the CEO about the errors that happened, and that I do believe that she should at least have a 15 to 20-minute conversation with her and then make a decision from there. And so she did that, brought her in, and the girl got hired. So sometimes it definitely takes the relationship that the recruiter has with the hiring manager.
Okay, so for this part, tell me the biggest mistake, other than formatting,
Mhm.
that you have seen in resumes that you've received. What is the biggest one? And I can go first on this one too.
Oh, I don't mind.
Go ahead.
So as a recruiter side, not creating one for my clients, but when I was a recruiter hiring for multiple organizations, it was one of the biggest mistakes is not having the correct information. So your phone number, your email, we can't contact you. So because I'm not able to contact you, I have to move you on to my trash pile because I have no way of getting in contact with you, and your email is definitely incorrect. And I may have came across your resume on Indeed. You might have submitted an old resume through our ATS system. So that's one of the biggest mistakes. So always check your resume to make sure that you have the correct contact information, even your LinkedIn profile, so that we can contact you directly.
Also, put it on the resume. I've seen so many resumes of late where there's nothing on it to contact. There's no contact information, period.
Right.
So now we loved your resume. We can't call you. We can't email you. We can't do anything. For me, and I say this so many times, please spell check your resume.
Mhm.
That's number one. And then the cousin to that is the right tenses. There, things like that, because we'll see that immediately. And if we don't, the hiring managers will.
Yes.
So just literally take your resume and spell check it.
Yep.
Okay.
I wanted to kind of add to that too, but I think I just lost my train of thought. You were saying something about spell check. So another thing you want to look at is LinkedIn. This is what I wanted to highlight because I remember a time when I was reviewing a resume and we wanted to look you up on LinkedIn to see who you were and to make sure that your work history matched what's on your resume. Um, this young lady had two different profiles. One was completely about dancing and being a dance instructor, and then the other one is about IT. But the times that that person was working was during the same time period, so it was kind of hard to really say how much experience she really had because that one was a full-time day job, and the other one was also a full-time day job. So how are you doing IT and teaching a dance class at the same time? So you want to make sure that you're able to talk through that when you're talking to a hiring manager or a recruiter, or make sure that you have the accurate LinkedIn profile visible for employers to contact you, especially when they want to look you up.